I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. What's good? Good to see y'all. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Let's go. All right. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a zig of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now scream. What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, your man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome. It's good to see everybody, fam. I'm excited to see y'all, man. I'm excited to see y'all. I'm gonna do this 2 hours, man, of nothing but Knicks talk, right? Just left the joint over. I just left Studio B to run over to Studio A. Just left Vibe the Stuff Live in the Morning with your man Chuck Allen, Uncle Freezy, the fastest growing morning show on YouTube. We was over there talking culture and a whole bunch of other stuff, and now we here to talk Knicks. And I'm sorry about being late. It was something that we had scheduled, and then things ran over, and Old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Y'all don't even want to hear all of that, right? Right. So listen, y'all. Oh, let me quote. Let me see. Let me find the quote because I can't remember it right offhand. Let me find it right offhand. Let me see if I can find it. Let me find it. Because I want to quote the great American poet, CeeLo, from Goody Mob. And so CeeLo says, it's such a blessing when my eyes get to see the sun rise. I'm ready to begin another chance to get further away from where I've been, but I'll never forget everything I went through. I appreciate because if I had went and took the easy way, I wouldn't be the strong brother that I am today. Everything that I did, different things I was told, just ended up being food for my soul. Right? That is a quote by the great American poet CeeLo. And the reason why I bring that up today is because we heard a lot of stuff going on in Knicks universe. Such and such ain't no good for the job. Such and such ain't nothing. This player is overrated. This player that. And today, we wake up with the possibility to win 4 games in a row. Right? We would have won 4 games in a row if we were not beat by a buzzer beater last Friday. Y'all remember that? Last Friday, we lost on a buzzer beater, right? We could legit right now be sitting at a place where we could be winning 5 games in a row. But it didn't happen. We acknowledge that, and we ain't gonna cry over spilled milk. Right? We ain't gonna acknowledge that, you know what I'm saying, like that. We ain't gonna cry over spilled milk. What we will do though is move on. we are gonna move on. Right? So tonight we play somebody. I don't care who. I don't care what the name on the front of their jersey says. I don't care if the jersey is a home or away, right? RJ Barrett has that look in his eye. Julius Randle has that look in his eye. Something special is about to happen, and you as a Knicks fan should buckle your seatbelt. Right? Something special is about to happen, y'all. Right? Buckle your seatbelt. Now, I already know what's going to happen when we let people into the thing. People are going to be crying, whining, all salty and shook, scared half to death. That every time you say something positive, they want to introduce something negative because they scared and whiny because they can't handle optimism. But so what? They still our family. We love them anyway. What I'm telling y'all is buckle your seatbelt. Something special is about to happen. How do I know? Right? How does Uncle Freezy know? How do I know? Y'all sound like Whitney Houston. Is that sliced cucumber, babes? Oh, man. This day just keeps getting better. Thank you. Yes. Miss Mocha just bought your man's sliced cucumbers. For those that don't think Uncle Freezy is eating healthy, there's proof. Right? So, y'all, how do I know? Like Whitney Houston. Right? Yeah, y'all love the Whitney Houston anthems because some of these people are still saying also they believe the children are the future. Thank you. But listen, something special is about to happen. But I'm going to quote the great American poet Prodigy. Prodigy said, "There's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook, because there's no such thing as halfway crooks." Give it up for the great American poet Prodigy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care who the opponent is tonight. I don't care what color uniforms they got on. I don't care where we play at. We are ready. We are ready. I just wanted to say this thing early to infuse not only positivity, but real thought. Last year, the Knicks finished the season 16-4 in their last 20 games. Right? And now the Knicks have won 3 in a row. Are we kicking it into gear for a special run? Hey, salute, y'all. Salute, everybody. Salute, salute, salute. Are we kicking it into gear for something special? Last year at this time, with the same type of questions, we finished the season 16-4 in the last 20 games. And we beat dominant teams along the way. Is this what we're looking forward to this season? Yes. Yes. Right? So for those that have sat by and watched our brothers and sisters say try to point out what's real to them. Oh, Tibbs sucks. The front office I believe the front office is inept. But you know, just to further the point, oh, the front office sucks. Player X shouldn't be getting X amount of minutes over such and such player that should be getting X amount of minutes because player X and player Y are the future, and I believe the children are the future. And here I am, Uncle Freezy, saying I believe the Knicks are about to go on a winning streak that's going to define this season. It's going to define Tom Thibodeau's legacy, right? You feel me? And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the tip-off. Where is tip-off? Tip-off starts with a T. Starts with a T. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. That was the tip-off. Now I am going to throw this link in the chat. Y'all ever notice that I talk funny? Y'all ever notice that I talk funny? When I slow down, I say throw. But at the beginning of the show, I always be like, throw your hand. You see how I said be like? I be like, throw your hands. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Salute to the chat. I see South Brooklyn. D is balling. D is balling. I see JJ in the building. Big Ooh, Sherwin M. Pudge Nice is in the building. I always like to say Pudge Nietzsche, but I know it's not Pudge Nietzsche. I don't know why. I don't know why I wanted it. Maybe, I don't know. Karen Fung is in the building. What's good with you? What's good? Let me see here. Do I have any intros? Let me see if I had. Let me have. Where are the intros? Yo, what's good, party people?
Yo, what's good, man?
What's good, fellas? What's going on with y'all in this Blorange Tears morning? You heard me. I feel like I'm on a marathon. I was on your show last night. I know you saw me in the building.
I saw you.
Had to pop in and check in with my man Cully. It's been a minute.
I was excited.
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. You know what I mean? Last night was one of them nights. You know what I mean? You know, the insomnia hit heavy last night, so I said, "Hey, man, let me do something constructive." You know, I saw. Let me see who talking Knicks. The only person I know talking Knicks at night is you, man. You know what I mean? So I say, let me pop in, man, and say what's up, because I normally listen in the shadows to the nighttime, but it's time to pop in and say what's up to the fellas.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna bring in Stafford real quick.
What time is it?
I would like to introduce.
We need a key. Staffa, my brother, was good.
Blessed morning, man. Can y'all hear me clearly?
Yes,
loud and clear.
I don't hear no machines in the background. That mean you doing better, right?
Yeah. I'm doing much better, man. I'm doing much better. Thank you.
Hey,
Freeze,
listen,
I
man.
gotta tell you that music for Stafford, man. Hey, every time I hear that thing just is one of them smooth grooves, man, that just make me feel like hitting the interstate, man, and taking a ride.
Yeah, man.
with the top down, right?
Yeah, that thing's smooth, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
That's
man.
that think tank music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Chuck, man. Shout out to Chuck Allen, man.
Hey, and Staff, I just wanted to tell you before we start talking Knicks, before I tell you about how the Knicks are only going to lose 3 games through the rest of the season, I wanted to make sure you know that I love you, bro.
Much respect, Freezy. I give thanks.
Yeah, man. Love you, man. Hey, make sure
Same way.
You better not be drinking no soda either. No Pepsi. Or
Nah. Actually, I'm out for a month. I'm out for a month, but you know, it's all good.
All right. I'm just saying.
We'll talk differently, personally.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk the same in person.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
definitely. Definitely.
All right, so
I know.
So let me. I'm gonna tell y'all this: the Knicks might not lose 3 games the rest of the season.
I hear you, man. Hey, Freeze. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Y'all noticed something different about me this morning. Let me see if anybody picking it up yet.
But you got a new brim on?
It ain't new, but I got it on. So that should tell you something where my mindset is at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hey, I'm back to being me, man, with the squad, man. I ain't talking nothing negative. All I'm gonna look at is the positives, man. You know what I mean? And my thought process yesterday, man, was on optimism 100. You know what I mean? With the Zion take, with the Coach K. Hey, that's a beautiful thing in a beautiful world if that was to come to fruition. But right. I'm gonna deal with what is right now and look at what we can do and how we can continue winning games, man. And the blueprint been laid out. You know what I mean? But I know we're gonna talk about it.
Right. No
For
doubt.
sure. And Ron, let me just say this. Yesterday was one of the first times I ever disagree with you on many of your takes yesterday.
Hey, if that's the first time, man, hey, I consider that a win. Because I know I ain't always got the right answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We all want the same thing. We want that banner to go up and them dust devils to come down.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So Freezy, what makes you think that we're gonna go 17-3?
Let me. I'm about to get to that. Just let me bring in Jay Boogie, and then Jay Boogie. Oh, that was Ron disappeared. Okay, let me do this real quick.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting. That's right. On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. What? You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting. Right. Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. What? You can see my vision through the podcasting. Yeah. But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting. What? I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. What? I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears. Close.
Jay Boogie.
AM to my brothers, man. Shout out to y'all great, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Salute. 3 capital S's. Blessings and blessings to each and everybody, man. God bless you. Everybody on this panel, man. What's good?
Man, what's going on with your Boogie Wonderland? What's going on, man? Them youngsters
bless up, Jay Boogie. Bless up.
You heard me?
No doubt.
Take them there, man. Take them there.
Yeah, man. We got to get there today.
Yeah, man.
So I'm gonna say this. So to answer Deepo's question, so we were on a 3-game winning streak, right? So I don't consider every team that we beat a good team, but I will consider the Clippers. The Clippers were playing well. The Kings are the Kings, right? And we beat Dallas, and Dallas was playing well. And then I'm gonna just really quick shoot through the remaining schedule, and y'all tell me what team intimidates you. Memphis, Brooklyn, Portland, Washington, Utah, Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, Detroit, Chicago, Charlotte, Cleveland, Orlando, Brooklyn, Washington, Toronto.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's a matter of intimidation. I think it's a matter of you got to understand that we're not the only team fighting for a position somewhere in the playoffs or
I don't
play.
care.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying they got. If you're a bear, they're a bear too. You see, and it's just a matter of what bear wins best and gets the gold. So I don't think it's a matter of intimidation. I think it's a matter of who's hungrier at the end of the day. And
Well,
if the team's really okay, go.
those teams, those other Bears that you mentioned, they are on the schedule.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like we're watching them from a distance.
Yeah.
They coming in our yard. Atlanta is coming to MSG.
Yeah.
Right. Charlotte, we played them in Charlotte, but that's like MSG.
Mhm.
Right. Then we have them again in New York. Right. Then we're at Orlando. That's like Madison Square Garden, and we owe Orlando something. And trust, they are gonna get it.
Mhm.
Right. And so that's why I'm saying when I look at the schedule, so I'm automatically chalking up the Utah game as a loss, and I shouldn't, right? But I'm realistic. Trying to be realistic, right? I'm looking at the game in Miami, right? I think that's a loss. Everybody else to me looks like a dub, except we are the Knicks. So we're not gonna just go just run the table. But what I will say though is the addition of Miles McBride into the lineup.
Hold on. Say that again.
And with Quentin Grimes and Derrick Rose coming back, these teams can't just load up on Randall and RJ. Right? What I'm saying to you, D Poetic, is these Knicks get better down the stretch and watch other teams get worse by attrition, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And so people can say, well, what about the Knicks? What about the Knicks? Can't the Knicks lose by attrition? We've already been there, right? Derrick Rose got hurt. Derrick Rose been out for a minute. He soon comes. He's soon to return, right? That's what I'm getting at. I'm saying we might lose 3 games the rest of the way. After we beat Memphis tonight, if we beat Memphis tonight, I'm doing a Knicks morning drive in the morning. 7:30.
Also, if we don't beat them, you're not gonna do it.
I'm a sleep late and eat me some vegan bacon.
Oh, okay. All right. Are the Nets are not a danger to you?
No.
After that performance they did last night?
Nope.
It's one thing being fearless, there's another thing being reckless.
No. But Brooklyn is Jekyll and Hyde. Right? Brooklyn's you don't even know if bro.
I definitely agree.
The way Brooklyn gets injuries and players miss games, you can't count on Brooklyn for nothing. But being Jekyll
and Kyrie ain't gonna play in the Garden when we play.
Exactly. No Kyrie. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got these headphones in, man. It's so quiet.
One thing about the Nets and the Knicks, when we get together and decide we're gonna have dinner at night, you throw everything out of the books, all the records, they don't even count. One thing I can say about us, we show up against them, but we just don't close out them games. Every time we play them, you know what I'm saying, we right there either, shooting the jab or forgetting to overwrite. We just need to close games out when we play them. So I mean, the Nets, we don't even fear them at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only team that is a problem, and I ain't intimidated by them, is the team we playing tonight. The match. We just need our coach to coach, put the players in a position to win, and we'll have an opportunity. Because I think we done struck on to something, man. That
Ron,
defense, that last game with that defense, I'm telling you, I was watching that game and I actually went back and watched it again. Them guys were flying around. It looked like 6 players on the court, man. And Deuce McBride, to Freezy point, that's the dude that make that thing go. And I talked about this on your show last night, man. Every team that has aspirations to make playoffs, play in, win championship, you got to have that one dude on defense that people fears. And I'm telling you right now, that dude is that dude. And I'm not even kidding, man.
What if you,
dude,
Ron? What if you had
elite level, man?
What if you had 2 of those dudes?
Oh man, crazy.
What if you had two rookie guards that could defend anybody and didn't fear anybody?
Not for you. Go ahead.
One of them is on the shelf right now. Grimes is the other one. He don't fear nobody. Let
me correct Ron right there. One of them is on our shelf. Not any shelf. He on our shelf. So when he come back, he gonna come back to us. Right?
Absolutely.
We don't have to trade for him or sign him or none of that. He ours. What I'm saying. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Just real quick. Are you getting these vibes because of what happened last season to the run, and you feel like history could repeat itself?
No, I'm only using that as a example.
Okay.
Right. What I'm using right now is as I look at the schedule, I see a Washington, I see an Orlando, I see Cleveland, I see Detroit, I see Charlotte a number of times, I see Atlanta, I see Washington again, I see Portland. Portland's gonna get it Wednesday, bro. Portland
some of those games are revenge games.
Portland is gonna get it Wednesday.
Yeah, Portland sneak one on us too.
Yeah, trust. Portland is gonna get it Wednesday. If we stay healthy, if we stay healthy, we may lose 3. If we lose 4, I'll be surprised.
Okay. And I'm sure everybody feels the same, right?
I'm gonna tell you like this, D. Every last one of these games, it wasn't before I was feeling like it was a foregone conclusion that we just gonna get stomped. And now I feel like every game, the New York Knicks from here on out, these last 16, got a chance to beat every one of these teams. And last night I talked about Memphis. That's the only team that I think matchup-wise that gives us a problem. But if Tom run this lineup that he was running, that second lineup, that thing is a problem. And don't mess around and let him tweak that thing and sneak. Instead of putting Alex Burks in there tonight to start, you start quickly at that point and have your boy induce splitting time and that thing to shake that starting lineup up. If he does something like that, throw a curveball, Memphis in trouble. Because I know one thing about Deuce. See, and that's the thing we always talked about. That defense on that perimeter at a point of attack. When you got a point guard that can pick up 94 feet, causing teams to have to take a time to get into their offense, that puts stress on them. So now you not only having a problem with the man who guarding you, but you got a problem with that shot clock too.
Yep.
But please do not have Alex Burks primarily trying to guard Ja Morant, or it's going to be a long night.
So everybody's in agreement that
I from last week I've been saying this. I want to win. I've been saying this. I want to win, regardless if it's with the young kids, with the vets, or it's a mix. I've been yelling. I wanted to win. So what Freezy's saying right now, I've been preaching it, that I wanted to win. And I got scorched. I got scorched for saying playing.
Hey, you deserve to get scorched. You deserve to get scorched, Stafford.
But your tone is different this morning.
No. Listen. Things change, right? When we were speaking to that, there was a certain thing going on. We want to speak to facts, not fantasies, right? We want to speak to facts, not fantasies. Like, so if a thing was going in a certain direction and we puff sunshine, that's fantasy, right? But things are different, right? Things are different. Your defense looks improved, does it not?
Yeah.
Right? Even when your offense is bad, because anything under 110 points in a game is not a great offensive output, right? Excuse me. The other night, I'm sorry, cucumbers make me burp for some reason. I'm sorry for being rude, y'all. But you beat a team 107-77, 107 points in the NBA game is not like Run TMC, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, in this age of basketball.
But we held the team to 107. I mean, to 77.
Mhm.
That is a dominant performance defensively.
Okay.
What a doubters at? Any doubters in here?
So hold on. First of all, the reason why you're burping for the cucumbers is because it's alkaline and it's taking the acidity out from your stomach and your digestive. That's number one. Number two, that's why I keep on asking: is everybody in agreement with this about 17-3 or just a really good run in these next 20 games? Is everybody in agreement with this on the panel?
I
A
think
very
we're gonna
good
finish
run. I don't know about
above
17.
It's yes or no, bro.
I got to get a clarity on that. Give you a clarity on these balling from my standpoint. I think we're gonna finish well above 500 these last 16 games.
Mm-hmm. So what does that look like?
Out of the 16, I say we might win. I give us 11. I give us 11 wins.
So we'll be 11 and
5.
11 and 5.
Yeah.
No, because because
16
of 3.
games,
Yeah. Right. 11 and 5. Okay.
I'm going with Ron too. I'm gonna go 11 and 5.
Okay.
I like that 11 and 5. The question is on that 11 and 5, with the last 16 is you giving us 6 more W's. And right now, what we 3 or 4 games out of them slots, right? The biggest thing about this situation is we don't control our own destiny.
Right.
We got 2 teams that's in front of us in Atlanta and with Charlotte. Is it Charlotte? Atlanta?
Yeah, I think it's Charlotte.
Charlotte's at the 9, right?
Hey, now we know we can make up 1 game with Atlanta. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So really that kind of like switches the morale from us going from 11 to 5 to putting us at 12 and 4.
Right.
Exactly.
If we could snatch that game from them, you know what I'm saying, and get only 3 games behind them. The thing about the Charlotte Hornets, it's the same thing, same numbers behind them, but we got 2 games with them. So if we could snatch those 2 games from them, that's a possibility to push us up, you know what I'm saying, to 13 and 3. You know what I'm saying? And reason why I'm using these formalities because I'm not even including them other games that we can win. But the most important thing is them games against them. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that are in our way. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say we don't control our own destiny. They control their own destinies. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 100% with y'all when you talk about us finishing above 500, finish with a winning record, going the rest of the way. You know what I'm saying? But the great thing about it is whether we make it into these play-ins or we don't make it into the play-ins, we already won some games just on the strength that Tom has, finally come to his senses that I got to utilize these young guys. And with us utilizing these young guys, that's throwing all the tankers out the way. So guys keep talking about tank. But the problem is about your tank. You wanted to tank with the young guys, but the young guys, man, damned you and came out here with a whole bunch of line art and come out here and let you know we're not here for the tank. We're here to prove ourselves and get on that floor and do what we need to do to win games. So you can throw the tank out the door. But this team right now, we don't learn a lot of stuff, over the last few games. You know what I'm saying? Tom has picked up, and I guess, people don't got in his head about, what you need to do and play these young guys. So right now we got a lot of momentum. The momentum is carrying over. Yeah, tonight I'm looking for a W tonight. You know what I'm saying? But if it's me personally, I'm going to shock the world. I'm taking Evan out that lineup, and I'm taking Burks out that lineup, and I'm coming with them 2 guards, them Wolves. I'm coming with both of them because I know one of them can play, Morant full court. I know the other one can body up what's his name, Bane. That's the main ingredient. If you shut down Bane and you shut down that boy Middleton coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying? We got a chance to really win that game on the road tonight. So I'm out here swinging. I look for us to swing and knock somebody's head off tonight, you know what I'm saying? And, cut off some more of the dollars and the naysayers, you know what I'm saying? The people that don't want to, feel good about, us winning games. People that's still in the tank modes and want us to fall back and lay back for a draft pick and all that. Nah, them young guys that you want to put in the game that they ain't thinking about tanking. They thinking about where can I fit in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, where did Boogie go? What's up, man?
I snatched off a butt, but that's me.
I got you. And Boogie, we're in full agreement. I think all of us can mostly agree that if it was the young guys leading the charge and putting out the winnability, we good.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. The problem was if Alec Burke plays 35 minutes. The problem was if Evan plays 30, 35 minutes. The problem was if Taj plays 25, 30 minutes. That's where the problem, that's where it becomes a problem, because we want the young guys to develop because the kids are the future. And without kids and dynamic win players in this league, you're not making much of a splash.
That's a problem to who? Whose problem is that?
Wait, hold on a second. So let me get this straight. So you're okay with us winning and getting smacked in the first round, best case scenario, right? If Burks, Evan, and Taj are playing anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes.
No, that's not what we was talking
that's
about.
What I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
No, that's not. That's off the. That's a different subject.
No, I'm talking to base to what Boogie said. Boogie clearly stated that throw away the tank and stuff like that. These guys, young guys, are coming and stuff of that nature. So, forget about the draft position. The fact that the youngins are coming up and getting better is what matters. Jay Boogie, am I right or wrong?
Going. Y'all boxing, so you know.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I don't get why that's off topic. I'm going back to something that Jay Boogie just said.
Okay, because what I mentioned was I don't think the Knicks will lose more than 3 games the rest of the season.
I mean, Freezy, people got off that topic like 5 times already. So okay. So bring me back. I was going to reroute us back to it. I was just referring to what Jay Boogie said real quick. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So the point being, so if you just want to splash all that, fine, whatever. I think I'm going to be the opposite with y'all, and I'm going to think our best case scenario is that we go 8-8. And I don't think that will be enough, because I'm looking at some of these games. I'm looking at 2 games with Brooklyn. I'm looking at a game with Toronto. I'm looking at a game with Chicago. I'm looking at tonight's game. I'm looking at the Utah game. I'm looking stuff like that. And I think
well, describe to, okay, I got you. Describe to me how Memphis beats us. What are they going to do to beat us?
Memphis is, I think, easily the 3rd or 4th best team in this league. They beat you with speed. All the young guys can dribble, pass, shoot. They know how to read the game very well. I think it will be a lot to handle tonight, personally. Now, we could do a lot better by putting Deuce McBride on John Morant early, and Deuce might end up with 6 fouls for the game, but I think he'll be some type of a deterrent as to them getting into their offense and stuff like that, and not being so explosive in transition. So there are things I could do that could help our probability of winning, without a doubt.
I think we beat Memphis by 18.
How many cucumbers are you willing to bet on that?
And I'm gonna say we beat Memphis by 18, and Ja Morant cries like a baby, like Luka did. Complains all night, like Luka did. Here's why. So I'm not gonna get into the speed thing. Such and such has more speed than such and such, or such and such has such and such. What I'm gonna get into is a fact, right? So here is a fact.
Okay.
The Memphis Grizzlies shoot 34% from 3, right, on the season.
Okay.
Right, that's a fact, right?
Okay.
Misses. This is another fact. This is something else that people sleep on. Missed 3-pointers lead to long rebounds. That's science, right?
Yep.
AKA fast break.
So our Achilles heel has been always getting into half-court sets against set defenses, right? When teams set their defense against us, we run a pick and roll. It don't work. We run a 3-man weave. It don't work. We can give it to Randall with 7 seconds left on the clock and have him bail us out.
Yeah.
Right? People love it. They love ISO Randall. Or maybe not. Right?
Freezer, I told you I'm trying to be positive, man. Don't say that ISO word.
Right. And I'm not bashing Randall. Y'all know I love.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that ISO word just great back pain, blues, and agony.
It just grate on your nerves, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I feel you. So what I'm getting at is this: the Knicks have a formula that they can implement that can lead to the Memphis Grizzlies forcing up 3-point shots, which is outside of what they normally do to be successful. Right?
Okay.
The Knicks also have people that rebound at a high rate. Now, I'm not saying that we lead the league in rebounding, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying I like a healthy Mitchell Robinson having a great game rebounding wise. And
Well, he had one last time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I like Julius Randle getting in double digits rebounding. I like RJ Barrett to have 5 or 6 rebounds and us pushing the tempo and forcing them, a team that wants to get out and run because they know that they struggle in the half court, forcing them to do the opposite of what they like to do. They like to run at you downhill in the open court so that Ja Morant won't have to shoot threes in the half court.
Freezy, also too, I don't mean to cut you, but the bench is going to be a factor. Because the last time we played Memphis, their bench killed us. They ran us over. So the bench has to be a factor tonight. Quickly, McBride, whoever comes off that bench has to be a factor. Go ahead, sir.
The bench won't be a factor tonight because our bench has a lot of injuries. Right? And if you're talking bench now, you're talking about the Taj Gibsons of the world. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, you're talking about the Miles McBrides of the world. Right? I don't see our bench being that. I see us beating Memphis 104 to 86.
Wow.
I think tonight is a night that we'll see a lot more Jericho Sims than Taj tonight.
Right.
Just because
keep in mind that the Memphis are number 3 in the league in scoring at 114 a game.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
Yep.
The bench, of course, you'll want the bench to be you'll want the bench to have some type of factor in this game. But to me personally, the most key moment of the game, and it doesn't really include the bench. It includes the bench and it includes the starters. When Ja go out that game, you must win those minutes. It's mandatory for you to win those minutes when Ja is sitting down.
Absolutely.
You cannot let him go sit down and we lose out while he's on that bench. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't let Bane destroy us. Not like that.
I agree with that too. And the one thing about Memphis, when you was throwing up them numbers, Freezy, for some reason, Memphis shoot threes good when they play against us. I don't know what it is, but they shoot them good when they play against us.
When they play against Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier at the same time, they shoot threes good.
Boy, right? That might be the reason.
Right, but tonight you won't see Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier on the court at the same time.
Yeah, they're gonna see our defensive stalwart, Deuce McBride, the real tank. And I ain't talking about no tank going to no lottery. I'm talking about that immovable object. That boy's strong, man. He's strong.
Also, too, last time we actually did a good job of containing. Well, Bane had a terrible game last time, right. And John Morant shot very badly last time. We did a good job of containing him, so keep that in mind as well. It was Jaren Jackson that went off, and it was the others. As well.
And it was a lot of defensive breakdowns the last time we played them, and the defensive energy wasn't even right when we played against them. Like them guys,
Zaire Williams killed us.
Yeah, they got whatever they wanted, man. The Knicks right now is playing like a team desperate, man. And a desperate team is a dangerous team.
Okay.
But I like our odds. I like our odds, even though I do have concerns. Like everybody know, man, that thing start with Ja.
Right.
We won't be able to stop him, but we need to slow him down.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we are gonna stop him.
Okay.
So not even contain him. We're going to stop him.
Okay. If we stop him, Freezy, there's no excuse for us losing. I'm going to say that. If we stop him and we lose, hey, we deserve to lose.
So who else if we stop Ja, who else can pick up the scoring load for Memphis? Is there a 40-point scorer on Memphis outside of Ja?
No, but or
30-point scorer.
They kind of do things by committee too, those guys. So
Right.
A Vane will go off for 20, Jaren will have 20. Milton will come off the bench, will give you a nice 12, 13.
Yeah, them guys play with no egos, man. That's the one thing I do like about watching them. When they play, it's all about the team. Ain't about one player. For as much as that team goes, as Ja goes, they really love playing together as a team.
Oh, you mean Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not us. These. We starting to get to that point. It looked like they start to be.
No. You said Washington. That's what I was like, who?
I said Washington. Get that out of my head. Not them Bullets, because it ain't the Wizards. It's the Bullets.
Right.
And the bench is also like second or third best bench, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Memphis is
behind Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely top 5, top 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And shout out to somebody that saw it in the chat. My man said, my man, D-Man says, the good thing is, now somebody just said, oh, Real King said, the funny thing is you can trust Randall on the road. So that's a plus. Randall had a bad last game shooting-wise. So he should have a better game, and it's away from the Garden. So that's another thing to watch tonight, how Randall plays. If I come out and I watch that game and that ball is moving and not sticking, because that's why we put a beating on Dallas. That ball was moving. It wasn't just sticking.
Well, we only had 19 assists as a team, so how well was it moving?
Well, it was moving. Hey, the ball can move, and then you don't get no assists. that can happen.
A third quarter was a prime example. That ball did not move in that third quarter.
Yeah, it bogged down. It bogged down in that third quarter.
Yeah.
But
and
overall, what I liked about that last game, D's, was quickly decision making in that last game was quick. He wasn't doing what he normally does.
I thought his decision making was better against the Clippers and Sac than at Dallas. He got back to some bad habits at Dallas. What I noticed about the Knicks is that when the defensive intensity comes up and teams are willing to guard them, past that half court and put intense ball pressure and stuff like that, I noticed they revert back to their ISO ways and non-ball movement ways. So look for that tonight.
Yeah, we need to move that ball, man. That's how you're gonna beat Memphis, because Memphis defense ain't no joke neither. That's another thing, and that team is long.
No, their defense is pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed that too. Like when we up 20 and 25, they want to go ISO, yo, and we got to cut that out.
And that's how you let teams back in. That's how you let teams back in.
I realized that too, man. We can't. We gotta just keep moving the ball and keep the foot on the gas and just blow them out, regardless.
That's been the microcosm of this whole season, man. We start winning games. A lot of games we lost, man. Them guys revert back to doing what didn't work when what was working. They see it in the game, and it's just mind-boggling you. But I think Tom them tapped into something, man. Like I said, man, that insertion of putting Deuce in that game it helps quickly a lot more too. That's another thing people don't think about. Deuce being in there helping him. You know what I mean? And both of them guys seem like they play off each other with the defensive intensity, because Quickly's defense, there's some things I don't like in Quickly's game, but his defense has definitely been much improved this year. Got to give him his credit.
Yeah. You guys got to understand that Memphis Grizzlies do have the second best record in the league. This is an elite team. This is not. So I want you guys to keep that in perspective, because if the crash comes hard, y'all might be too harsh tomorrow.
No, man.
Let me ask you this. With Golden State winning last night, they still number 2? With Golden State winning last night?
They're tied. They're tied, but Memphis has the tiebreaker because Memphis is up on the season series. Yeah.
Hey, D's, I'm on my positive vibe for the rest of the season, man. I'm gonna give them the business. I'm gonna save my grading of the papers till the end of the season. That's what I'm gonna go all in from here on out.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about enough negative stuff with this team, man. We've been talking about that since January. It's time for us to embrace what's going on with this team as a whole, as a fan base, and just enjoy the ride, man, and let whatever happen.
Yeah, I'm on my realistic stuff 365, 24/7.
Nope. I feel you.
Can y'all hear me?
Robinson, I gotta agree with you too. Randall can't settle for jumpers. Randall
No.
cannot settle for jumpers. He has to attack the basket. He has to attack Jaren Jackson. So
Get him in
he
foul
has to
trouble.
put, yeah, he so Randall can't settle for jumpers, man. He gotta attack that basket.
I'm looking for major tone setters, like, you know, against Dallas. I think it might have been the first basket. The way Mitch looked at that dude when he dunked on that dude, I never seen Mitch do that. So that let me know right then and there that they was toned and locked all the way in against Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I haven't said this word all year long, but this was one of my favorite things about the team last year was their defense. I used to call them the Pythons. You know, against Dallas, they really brought out that Python defense. You know what I'm saying? We can get mad about, you know, all the things that's going on through the basketball season, but Tom, you're really known for your defense. So when you allow the team to lack on defense, that hurts even more. Long as that team come out and Tom is stressing on that bulletin board what they need to do and instructing them what they need to do for defense, and everybody's locked in on defense, everybody's touching their man and bumping them when they're cutting and not giving up easy basket, ain't scared to put somebody on the floor, that aggressive defense, because really they're a soft team. They don't want to get physical.
No,
they
don't
want to play finesse ball. You know what I'm saying? We need to take the
Knicks
fight to these guys. Yeah, we need to take the fight to these guys, man. Point blank.
The Knicks are playing Sheena Easton right now. Anybody remember Sheena Easton?
And you know, and that's a great point, Jay, because I thought one of the big things about that Dallas win wasn't so much the defense; it was the match and intensity of physicality against their lack of, and I think it was too overwhelming for Dallas. That was a great point.
And you know what else we did to Dallas is we took advantage of our size against Dallas. We didn't play small against them. You know what I mean? Just to your point about Mitch, the way Mitch was playing against that team, Mitch looked like he was an all-star for the period that he was out there. He looked, and that dunk you talked about, Mitchell Robinson, man, and I'm gonna say this, and I ain't saying it no more. Pay that man. And the reason why you pay that man is because that guy's skill set is something no other center has. That guy can score without anything being ran for him, and his ability to get to them loose balls, even air balls. Mitchell Robinson's hands is underrated, man. That dude got some very good hands, man. And you normally don't see that with them bigs a lot of times, man. Them things be like butterfingers.
Say
you
it
know
again,
what I mean?
Ron? Say it again. Say it
Mitchell
again,
Robinson
Ron.
got some very good hands, man. And as long as we play to our strength, man, Julius Randle, I love him down there in that post. That dude's a problem, man. When Julius Randle locked in, nobody can stop him, man. And I remember even the guys were saying it on TNT, man, that Julius Randle is a load. You can't stop him when he makes his mind up that he's going to the basket.
Steven Adams.
And RJ says, see me up. In my Geechee Gullah language. RJ says, see me up. You heard me?
Yeah. Freezy, I was doing some detective work, right? I want to share this with you guys. I was doing some detective work, and I came to a very vivid understanding about something. What happened, Ron?
I'm laughing at something I saw in the chat. My man said Noel should be the new face of the Butterfinger candy bar.
So I was doing some detective work, and I'm going to say this because I gotta do a lot of scouting today. Auburn's on at 12. I got to scout Smith and Kessler, but so I was doing some detective work, and I was looking at overall the league's cap on each team and how much they have overall for each team, right? So if somebody can answer me a question here, right? Does anybody know what the minimum cap is for a team per season?
For what season? Are you talking about dollar amount or percentage?
This season.
You talking about dollar amount or percentage?
I'll talk about overall cap, for your whole bankroll for the team, because I know there's a minimum.
Still, Knicks knows that number.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that number.
Okay, I don't either.
98 million. 98 million.
No, it has to be more than that. So because
there's a floor they have to pay.
Right. There's a minimum that they have to reach. Right, correct.
It's 90% of the salary cap. That's what every team has to meet.
Is it like 120?
98 million is the minimum.
So you're close, because Detroit overall on everything has the lowest in the league at 125.5. So guess who's fourth?
Us.
We're fourth. But us and Miami are the only teams, right, that are over 27 years old as a team, and our cap is that low, right? So I said, that's very interesting, because that means that most of the teams that are on there are developing and a lottery bound and stuff of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came to an understanding. So everybody's asking, why the hell did the front office pay Evan Fournier 18.5? Why did they give Randall the extension too early and stuff of that nature? Why did they sign Books to the 2 with the 3-year option, Noel with the 2 and the 3? I understand now. Because they had to reach the minimum cap because nobody was coming here. And nobody wanted to come, because if they did, they would have made room in the cap for them.
Well, what's telling too, to your point, Deez, is the fact that, and I've noticed this the last 2 years, man, we've had an open roster spot both years.
Mm-hmm. So the front office, now I would have taken care of it differently. I personally would have not signed those guys. I personally would have taken bad contracts, right? Absorb them, not play them, get assets, and build my youth. That's what I would have done personally.
Right.
But maybe they panicked. Maybe they felt a certain way of that the season we had last season. Maybe they wanted to capitalize on some. The guys that they targeted had no sniff of even coming here. So they said, oh, crap. All right, man, we got to show face, which is retarded. But I think that's what they did.
Well, one guy wanted to come here. They didn't bother to go get him in DeRozan.
No, but I don't think he wanted to come.
Oh, he wanted. No. He wanted. It's well reported. He
then
wanted to come.
Why not throw the money at him? You have more than enough room for it.
Remember, we were salivating over Damian Lillard, right? All last season, and the reports came out that if the Knicks would have gotten DeRozan, that pretty much would have opened the door for Dame, because them guys are very close, and they were saying it, that Dame would have released that and told him, hey, send me down there to New York. But we didn't do that. But
I don't believe reports though, Ron, because the fact of the matter is that what was the reason why they supposedly said that he went to Chicago over New York supposedly?
Because Chicago paid him.
But we had more than enough money to pay him.
Well, you know what it was too? The same guy who made the assessment that told him to go get him was the same guy who told him to get Lonzo, and both of them guys ended up elsewhere. The guy with the smallest voice in the front office that got the most experience. Well, the guy that got the most experience, exactly.
So there was some news from yesterday. I watched the Serge Ibaka cooking show. DeMar DeRozan said that the only team that was close to signing him outside of Chicago was the LA Clippers. He was set to meet with Lawrence Frank before signing with Chicago, but Chicago came back with not more money, but a different way to pay him the same money.
Right.
And so I put the link. So Ron, this is the stuff where I'm saying that the Knicks are inept. The little things, right? And so I put the link to that. I put a link to that video in the chat where you can fast forward through all the stuff, but get to the part where it says, Serge says, you and I were almost teammates, right? He was like, yeah. Lawrence Frank was on his way to my house. This is what DeMar DeRozan said. He was on his way to my house, but I spoke to Chicago and I called him back and told him not to come. I'm signing with Chicago.
Yeah, and you know what else they said did it too in that situation was the whole Russell Westbrook thing. Because that guy wanted to go home. He wanted to go play with the Lakers. He wanted to go home.
Okay. So now Knicks couldn't get these guys, and I personally think these guys didn't want to come. And the reason why I think that is because of such the extravagant contract that you gave Evan Fournier is, I think, is a clear indication of that. He was getting that contract nowhere else.
No.
So they had to supplement, right? And them striking out and them not being able to get certain names that were probably on the list, and they had to pay him that, right? So they probably said, Evan, we'll pay you for a year. Evan said, no. I need something secure.
Right.
You see? And that's why they gave him the 4th-year option. I think the same thing happened with Alec Burke. I think the same thing happened with Nerlens Noel. And the reason why I think that is because they were on 1-year contracts the year before.
Right. Well, I tell you this, a lot of your logic makes sense, but I tell you this, the one thing that does scream at me that goes a little bit in the opposite direction is the fact that this guy's track record, man. He tried to win cheap, man. Even last year, you know what I mean. You can't win in this league cheap, man. You gotta spend to win, man. You got to be aggressive, and you definitely agree on this. The end of the season, clean house. Go get somebody that's.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. If I could just get into what I'm trying to say here is that now I have to fast forward. Now is that it's going to be a 2-year plan now because those contracts ain't going nowhere. So it's this year and now it's next year. And that's why I was saying that you could have managed the situation or got better if you had struck out on the guys that you wanted. But I think they pushed the panic button and they figured that they could have some type of grandeur of what they had last year. And they figured, well, we got to fill the cap and we'll go ahead and we'll sign these guys and we'll see if Tom can make a sugar out of poop. And we can see if Julius can make sugar out of poop.
If all else fails, Julius Randle will bail us out.
Yeah, again.
That's what I think the plan is.
Yeah.
So now I wouldn't count. So, and especially if it comes to fruition, what you guys want, this administration and Tom ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And we're going to see almost the same roster next year with maybe a couple of subtle additions, but it's pretty much going to be the same basic framework.
I don't believe we're going to have the same roster next year. I don't believe that at all. Because the office right now, they in a mode right now where they have to prove something. They have to do something outside of the line of relationship. They really have to do something far as bettering the team. You know what I'm saying?
Hot seat.
Outside of us being our biggest faults, the biggest thing that's headed to us this year was the 3 C's, and that's Charlotte, Chicago, and Cleveland. Those 3 teams went past us this year. So right now, you outside of the bigger teams on our side of on the Eastern Conference, those teams right there, you got to make up ground. We can't afford to make up ground 2 years from now. Them guys need to do something at the end of this season right here, right now, because James is watching. You know what I'm saying? All the moves that you done did this past or the past, it didn't pan out. And your first priority, I'm going to go back to what Ron said. It's mandatory for you to sign Mitch because you cannot allow Mitch to walk out the doors like on chances like you could have went after DeRozan, you didn't go. Like you could have went and got Lonzo Ball, but you didn't go do him because you were the draft picks and stuff like that.
You could have signed DJ Augustine.
You could have signed a lot of these guys, but it is mandatory. You cannot let Mitch walk out this door and wind up saying going to Boston or wind up go to Detroit, because then Detroit would be in a position to pass us too. You can't allow him to go and get amongst one of these teams, you know what I'm saying, that's looking for a big man to protect that rim. So right now,
I'm sorry, J-Bug. I just want to interject real quick.
I was going to push back with him. Okay, go.
Mitch will sign with Toronto, and you'll see the Raptors win 3 NBA titles in a row. All right.
Also, there's 148 people in the chat. Please go ahead and smash that like button for your boys. Support the channel, Uncle Freezy. Right, and the whole family, Jay Boogie, D's Ballin, Ron's from Still Nick Friends. We got the man here. We got the closer up in here. We got Tricky Nicky. We got Chop Low cooking on the grill. So please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, press that notification button.
Thank you.
Back to your schedule program.
Let me push. Jay Boogie, right? I'll tell you the same thing that I told Freezy the other day. Is that you have to think about this. When we got out the playoffs yesterday, right? And our expectations were what? To be better than last year, right?
Yeah, we thought 45 wins. Yeah.
No, yeah, right. We wanted to be better than last year, right? And we had 2 positions to fill, right? It was the point guard and the small forward. So let's say, for example, in the greatest situation this year, right? We make it to the playoffs and we get slammed in the first round, right? What would be the expectations for next year? And what 2 positions do we still have to fill?
In my opinion,
I get what you're saying. It's the same positions.
Yep.
Right. Right. It's point guard and small forward. So now, right, now you're going to have another year with this administration that has already proved to you that they weren't able to fill those holes and get out of their own way to creating a better situation for us. My question to you is that do you trust them for a third season to do so? We all know they got to do it. We know this, right? And we could put a gun to their head, a bat, whatever, right? And we know they got to do this. But what evidence have they shown you that they are capable of?
They're not. But they're not. So you know what the need is, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you know the instructions on how to get there, right? But this front office just doesn't know how to do it, right? Because this point guard small forward conversation is not new. This is not a 2020 something conversation. This is a 2020 conversation. This is a 2010 conversation. This is a 2000. This is a 1990 conversation. You feel me?
Yeah,
It's not like, the Knicks put a Hall of Fame point guard in a Hall of Fame every 20 years. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
One Hall of Fame point guard. That's it. And
you
we
know
were
what,
lucky.
Freezy? I'm gonna have to exclude two guys out of that front office when we talk about that front office, man. I can't put Walt Perrin in that mess, and I can't put Scott Perry in that. You know what I mean? Our biggest problem is the two guys with the most power in that front office. Worldwide Mess and Leon Rose. Those two guys, man. And the reason why I say that is because your boy, Scott Perry, was the one who was knocking down the door, telling them to get Lonzo. So he knows, he's been here the longest. He knows what the Knicks have been suffering. Anybody who's been watching the Knicks, for that matter, knows we haven't had a point guard. And Walt Perrin, his reputation speaks for itself. So I'm gonna stop lumping them guys in with them other two guys that ain't even qualified to even sign their name on no paperwork, talking about they're the front office guy for the New York Knicks. And that's really where this thing really started. They should have never gotten the job. The most storied money-wise franchise in the league, printing money, and you got them guys at the head of this thing, man. It's really.
But here's the point, though, Ron. But here's the point, though, Ron. They do have the job. So now, here's my whole point of this whole thing, right? If they weren't able to get you the big guns and be smart with their money last year in a miraculous season that we did have, do you think that they're going to be able to get the big guns and work out the contracts and work out the money right and add and do things by addition, by subtraction? Right.
I just don't trust them. And trust is based off evidence realized. You know what I mean? The evidence you put forth, man, and the evidence ain't good. It's just not good. You know,
So here's the thing. I wanted y'all to because I understand what y'all are saying, but I think y'all are just looking at it one-sided, right? Here's the thing. There is more than one way to spend money, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
The free agency thing is what we're the drum that we're beating right now. We're on the mountaintop beating this drum, right? But you could have also done this. Here's how you spend more money. Trading up in the draft.
Fact.
Right?
Could you have the ammunition?
If you trade up in the draft, the higher you go, or in terms of numerology or numerical systems, the lower the number, of course, means the higher the draft pick. Y'all get all of that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the higher you get up the draft board to draft players, the more money you have to pay that player. Right? So instead of offering Taj Gibson 2.8, then tearing it up and giving him 5 to D Poetic's point of them wanting to spend money to get to a certain place, because that actually happened. He accepted 2.8 for 2 seasons, 2.8 and 2.8. They ripped it up and gave him 10 over 2, right? To get to this point. Instead of doing that, you could have maintained your draft position and drafted a different player. So you like Grimes there? Okay, whatever.
No.
You could have also traded up in the draft, right? So instead of you paying a guy $2 million, I think you could have got to the point with the number 1 pick. And I know the Knicks wasn't getting the number 1 pick, but just listen to what I'm saying. The number 1 pick makes about 10 something million. So the difference between 2 something million in Grimes and the number 1 pick would have escalated each pick that you move up the board. So if you want to spend money and you want to get talent, You could have traded up in the draft by getting rid of draft picks that you can't use in the future because they are future assets and turning them into cash on the spot. You give them draft picks in 2024, 2026, something like that to move up. And now that money comes off the books because you're not responsible for those draft picks. And you add money this year, which increases your payroll. Yeah. Right? But the front office is inept. They don't have this thing. They did the opposite, D-Poetic.
Yep.
They did the opposite. They traded back in the draft and traded away a draft pick, which further goes to your point that this front office does not know what
technically Freezy, 2 of draft picks.
Right.
Because don't forget, we had the 19 and the 21, and it only became 1 because it supplemented for the 1 for next year, but we gave that up in the camp.
Right. Exactly. So there is more than first of all, there's more than one way to think about what we're talking about right now, right? And there is more than one way to spend money against the cap this season. The Knicks chose to do it the Barney Fife, the Roscoe P. Coltrane way is the way they did it.
But
anybody remember Roscoe P. Coltrane?
Of course.
Get rid of that damn dog, Roscoe.
Chaplo.
But let me ask you a question. Wasn't the draft prior to free agency?
Yes.
So while I agree, that's definitely the way they could have done it had they been thinking with foresight and been under the impression that, you know what, the best thing for the organization is to do it this way because there's too many unknowns in free agency. I think once again, the Knicks did what they always do. They had a thought that they were going to be able to strike it in free agency. So in the draft, they were trying to push draft picks around and lower the get more value for lower amount of money spent so that they could have more money in free agency. And then they struck out, as we all knew. Well, not we all knew. I knew they were going to strike out because I still feel like no one's coming here. And then they scrambled. I think in their mindset, they were already thinking the reverse. So they were trying to save as much money as possible and get as many, high value for low dollar players in the draft. And then it backfired in free agency. I get it. That they could have did it the
how much
opposite
you paying? How much you paying for Quentin Grimes this season?
I don't know what the rookie.
That's a rookie contract.
$6 million, I think.
No, it's like 2 point something.
It's like 2 point something.
Yeah.
So Ron, really, you didn't want to spend an extra 2 on a 19th pick?
Listen, before the 19th, remember the issue is when we were watching the draft, you saw how many times the Knicks moved back. They had certain picks, then they moved.
What happened?
Don't worry about it. We still Knicks fans on the Freezy show.
Still Knicks fans.
Hello.
Hey man.
This always, I don't know. Yo, Freezy, I swear this only happens when I'm on your show. My headphones don't work. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so it's Freezy's fault. Come on, Rod.
Yeah, it's only Freezy's show. I don't know. It's crazy.
High quality H2O.
Anyway. Yeah, no, it's the Blorange tears.
Keep chopping
it's all up in my headphones, B.
Wow.
So what I was saying is, yeah, they moved back several different times, and it seemed to me like they were not sold on the fact that they wanted to pay X amount of dollars for this level of draft pick when they felt like this draft was so deep. Oh, well, let's just move back a little bit more. We can get another talent and lower the money. Even if it's pennies, not pennies, but I'm saying like, even if it's just hundreds of thousands of dollars, the capologist was, I guess, doing his job to free up as much money as they could so that they could go into free agency. I just think that, like, even with right now, even with right now,
he's just a numbers guy.
Yeah, I think they were. I think they were planning though, like these contracts that they signed with these free agents last year with Fournier and Kemba. Like these are movable contracts. I think there's going to be trades this offseason. They're movable contracts. There's going to be teams that are going to want these guys, is what they're thinking and hoping for. But I do want to go to a point Jay Boogie said with Uncle Ron. I was on the show last night, Blorange Cheers with Coley and Subliminal. We all agreed that Mitch is the guy you got to sign for this team. You got to sign Mitch. You got to keep the youth movement in New York. We ain't going to look to win a championship now. We ain't winning it this year. We ain't winning it next year. But in 2025, we might be there deep in the playoffs having a shot at it. But you got to keep Mitch. If you don't keep Mitch, we ain't got no shot.
So to get back to the front office ordeal, so now when you think about it this way, right, and this is how they spend their money, and now these plans, right, because they are more movable next year. Tricky, you are correct, but they become more valuable at the trading deadline because they'll be expiring. You see, so you're still gonna have to. You're still, man. Just let me finish, and I got you. So you're still gonna have to roll with those guys for at least half the season.
Right. I didn't know why they didn't move one of them this year.
Because it's not sexy. It's not attractive to anybody.
Which one though?
I would have moved Fournier if I could.
Nobody's taking that 18.5 for a guy. That's just a catch and shoot. You only give stuff like that to JJ Redick and stuff of that nature.
Right, yeah. But the reason I would have moved him with us signing Cam, you could have put RJ back at the shooting guard position and bringing Deuce in and all these young guys. I just would have moved Fournier, in my opinion.
Right,
nobody.
I know what you guys are saying. I'm saying,
but nobody's going to trade for a shooter that makes $18 million the year after
at 30 years old.
Well, apparently,
you can't defend.
But here's my point though. The year after Davis Bertans signed the same type deal and was an absolute flop on that deal, you don't try to. Nobody's going to sign Evan Fournier to the same type of deal and get the same results. 13 points a game on a high 3-point percentage, but it's on low volume.
I agree.
And Tricky, and keep this in mind too, right? Don't let anybody blow smoke up your butt about this contract, bro. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Just give me 2 seconds. Because it's not only about the 18.5 this season. Okay, it's also about when he's older. Right? I'm sorry, it's 17 this season. My bad. But as he gets
20 something though.
But as he gets older, it gets more expensive.
Yeah, I know.
You see,
but that's why I would have. That's why I would have liked to move that contract out.
Right, but my point being is that you can't move it because nobody's interested. And the only time it may become interesting is maybe in 2023, 2024, because that fourth year is a team option, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a club option. Correct. Yes.
Could we have added 2 second-round picks with what Tricky Nicky is saying to get rid of him? Even though you said
need more than that. That we would need to ask more.
It's a lot of things we could do. You know what I'm saying? It's about your skill set and what can you do inside that office. You know how to push buttons at the right time because you're pushing buttons at the wrong time. I just seen 3 contracts get moved back to back to back in Washington. I just seen John Wall contract get gone in between season. Then he turned around and got rid of Russell Westbrook contract in between season. Then he just came back and got rid of Bertans contract. And Washington's in a good position. So you can make these moves. It's just, are you pushing the right buttons and doing what you're doing? Yet he's not doing what he's doing. He's fizz-delling. And that's what I mean by fizz-delling. You're only here for your relationship. He's not in here for a skill set and knowing how to make proper decisions in front of a billion-dollar organization. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need more than anything. You know, they faking on them buttons, man. They not pushing the right buttons. And that's why I'm heated with them. I point all my things at Leon knows and World Mess. Leon knows, that's what I call him. Leon knows.
Yeah. But keep this in mind, Boogie, right? When Bertans went to Dallas, Bertans wasn't the grand prize of that. Spencer Dinwiddie was. You see, and the only reason why they took that Bertans contract is because they had to make the salaries match somewhat, right? They're never perfect, right? There's always a little off. So that's what that whole thing is. So we're not in a position where we could go ahead and get something sexy to somebody, right? And then go ahead and carry an Evan Fournier contract.
I totally understand it, but that's why I always say Sometimes you have to give up a little more to make things better for yourselves.
Right.
Just, when you go back to the Lonzo Ball, you held on a draft pick for what? What you hold on a draft pick?
Right.
They wanted a draft pick with it. For as a point guard. So you holding on to these situations. You know what I'm saying? Now we in a tighter situation. You're gonna have to give up something to maneuver some things. Like when Freezy was talking about, giving up some of these picks to move up. You know what I'm saying? Now he's only eliminated that because now you got to use draft picks to move some of these contracts. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not making the proper moves.
Yeah, right. Because somebody's have to take that off our hands, and we got to do them the solid now, opposed to it being reversed.
Yeah.
Right. Now, most definitely. So let me say this, Tricky Dicky, because I gotta go, because I gotta prepare for these games. Okay. Is that now with these contracts in hand, the way that they handed them out now? So now it's not only one season with this. Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be 2 seasons with this, especially if we go on a run like you guys want. So I want you to keep that in mind and let that digest and think about what our future looks like beyond this next 20 games.
Hey, D, I know you got to go. Quick question: Who is more valuable to this next team? Okay. Is it Evan Fournier or Mitchell Robinson?
Oh, we know the answer.
Mitch, right?
So we know we have to sign Mitch, but the problem is that because he rejected the extension, right? There's a team out there that could do something crazy. That knowing how our front office rolls, they may not want to match that.
I don't know. I heard he rejected $10 million or something.
No, I think it was going to be 12.5 or something of that nature.
Well, why wouldn't you give him the 13.7 he deserves?
Why
not? He's 23, 24 years old. You give that man his money. Look what he's been doing.
I hear you, but I think somebody else wants to give him his money.
No, but I'm saying if you can give Evan Fournier 18.5, like we were talking about, and he's going up to 20 million. Yeah. I'm sorry. Mitch is worth 18.5. Give Evan the 13.7.
And this is our point, Tricky, that this front office and the collaboration of this administration, there's a lot of weird things going on where they take 2 or 3 steps backwards. They put themselves in unnecessary holes that are unnecessary. Then they can't get out of them, and we're going to have to wait a whole year for stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and mess that one up too, to be quite honest, because it's been a mess so far.
Hey, Chop Low got the car and park. What's good, Chop?
I'm at the light.
Oh, need to hear something for Low. You've been in the back cooking up too long. I ain't seen you in a minute. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Salute. God bless everybody, man.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I got to go. Have a great day. Freezy, I'll talk to you. J Boogie, great seeing you again. Ron, great seeing you. Stafford, Tricky, Chop Low. Y'all take care of yourselves. Yeah, have a great weekend. Don't party too hard tonight because you know it's a Friday and the Knicks are playing.
AD.
Bless up, D. Bless up, D.
Continue on watching that boy Moore Jr. too at Duke.
Which one?
Moore Jr. Continue on watching him.
Oh, Wendell Moore. Yo, Trevor Keels is my guy, by the way. I really like him. He reminds me of a poor man's Kyle Lowry. I really like what he brings to the table. But I like Wendell too. Look, they're going to be first-round draft picks. There's no discussion about that, especially in this draft. So, all right, guys, take care of yourselves.
All right.
Later, bro. Yeah, I think that now I don't even know who said it, but whoever said it might be very correct that this Knicks team may unfortunately not be that different from the Knicks team you see right now, just because I think financially they're very handicapped with what they can do, and I don't think I know people are out on Brunson after seeing him against them recently. I didn't like what I saw either, but I do know he's kind of still battling a little bit of an injury. I don't know how much more they can do to really help the team at this point. But what I wanted to touch on, because y'all was going, and I didn't feel a need to jump in and say anything. I wanted to touch on the game tonight with Memphis. I think that the Knicks do have a really good shot to beat Memphis tonight because of the fact that I feel like the current Ja Now this can change on an instant, on a dime. It could change. But the current Ja is a 20 to 25 point scoring Ja. Like, if we get this Ja, we have a good chance, or keep Ja to that, we have a good chance of winning. But if Ja turns into the 30 to 40 point Ja that we've seen earlier, even just a couple weeks ago, then we're gonna have a big problem. But right now, I've been watching their games for my own personal fantasy stuff, and they, to me, they haven't been playing that great. They've still been winning, but they left a lot of holes out there. So if you what would you say?
They're not executing like you would expect them to.
Right. So you have a chance. I mean, if the Knicks can do what they've been doing these past couple games, and keep that up, they have a real good chance to win. Because I think Memphis right now is not clicking on all cylinders, especially the way they came in when they played us that last time. Because when they played us that last time, they were flying up the court. They had their hands everywhere. They were in the passing lanes. They were pressing up. It looked looked really good. I ain't gonna lie to you. They had some issues, but on defense, they look really good.
Right.
So now's the time to listen. The Knicks have some good luck. Last year when they made their run, a lot of things worked in their favor, and right now it seems like they could be in that same wavelength. Some certain things. If you catch a Memphis that's not on their A game, hey, whatever, perfect. So take it while you got it.
Hey, Ron, salute, still Knicks fans.
Tricky Nicky.
My key to this game tonight with Memphis is John Morant gets a lot of his points off the pick and roll and screen with Steven Adams. He gets a lot of points, a lot of dunks. So if Mitch and Sims and Taj can step up and put Steven Adams in a spot and come off those screens the right way we need to, Ja ain't going to have a good game. I can see Ja getting 22 points tonight.
I mean, listen, that's a really good possibility. The one good thing that we have now that we didn't have before is we got Deuce playing basketball for us now, and Deuce can give Ja a different look that he didn't see from this Knicks team in the past. Unfortunately, I wish we would have had Cam out there too, but obviously we know we won't now. Because I think that dynamic of having that RJ, Cam, and Deuce on the court. I mean, I saw what they did in that Clipper game. And I know the Clippers weren't playing well, but the way they locked down that perimeter in the fourth quarter, that showed me, listen, get them all out there. Some things can happen. And we don't even have Grimes, so we're just going to need effort from Burks, because Burks can play very good team defense. Sometimes he gets beat individually, but if you got Deuce out there with RJ, if they're all getting up into their mans, and playing that tough defense, Burks will fall right in line, and we can. I'm telling you, we can make some noise tonight.
And Tricky Nicky, I know you said Steven Adams, but I would say Jaren Jackson is the more dangerous one, the pick and roll with him and Ja. So,
but why I say that though, Steven Adams is the enforcer on Memphis. So if Mitch can put him in his spot and we can set that tone early, that's the reason I'm saying it. That's the only reason.
Okay.
Yeah, the last game they did more to Jaren Jack and Ja.
Exactly.
Pick and roll in the garden, and he was trying to put, Julius in the blender. The thing is about when they do that high pick and roll, the person that's playing Ja need to go under. So when he go under, that gives him, the look for him to shoot the tray, against him, against you going over the pick, and he penetrates. Ja's a much better shooter if he catch it being swung to him when he's wide open to catch and shoot than it is for him to shoot off the dribble tray. So I look for us they need to go up under that right there and force him to be a shooter, because they've been showing the stats. If he ain't number one, he's in the top three, if not tied, far as the most points in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Amongst all the bigs, he scores that many points in the paint. You need to limit him inside that 3-second zone and make him more of a perimeter player. And that's when he's less dangerous. But when he get inside that gut, you know, it's a different animal. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Jay
Yep, that little
Boogie,
blue
and
box.
the reason I was bringing that Steven Adams point up though
Mm-hmm.
was the Knicks we're talking about. Even Randall was saying it, how we're getting pushed around. We're getting pushed around. We're getting bullied.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if Mitch can set that tone with their enforcer, you know, Steven Adams, he's a heck of a player. If we can do that and we can be physical with this team, I don't see any reason we can't beat them by 20. We should beat them big time. The way they've been playing against Dallas, you know, we've been enforcers on this West Coast trip. I feel like we bullied these teams. Even Phoenix, I felt like we were bullying them until Randall got ejected. But if we can set our physical tone, keep it throughout 4 quarters, there's no reason we shouldn't blow them out either, in my opinion.
And I like how you sound, Tricky. I like how you sound. I remember the last time I was up here on the panel.
It's morning. I'm not drunk yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
morning tricky is the right tricky, baby.
Okay. Morning Tricky is the right tricky.
Morning tricky.
Damn.
Listen, I'm with you, but I don't really care if they blow them out. I just want the victory.
Just want the victory.
Win by 2 points. I don't care. Let's just get that victory, baby. Yeah. I don't, you know, the blowouts is nice, and it's something that we haven't seen from this Knicks team in a minute, especially the way they've been kind of going wire to wire. That's kind of wild, bro. I like it, but if they don't win in that fashion, see, that's what worries me with this Knicks team. The Knicks team that we have only does things one way a lot, you know. For whatever reason, they could play 3 quarters, they can't play the 4th. They could play blah, blah, blah. They can't do this. Now we're blowing people out. So what happens if the game is close in the 4th? Can we, you know, find a way to win? That's what I want to see. I don't care. I don't want them to think that if they're not blowing the team out, then things ain't working. They don't know what they do. They start panicking on the court themselves. They just need to close these games out. If you blow out, fine. But if it ain't a blowout, we need to see them figure out a way to win these close games.
And I want to share something with y'all real quick before I jump off, man. And just, you know, it always reflects back to, you know what I'm saying, you know, months and months ago when, you know, Freezy used to always say, you know, stop hide your talents and stuff, because you never know who listening, who might hear something. You know, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, you know, I ran into a guy at the grocery store, and because I had a Giants hat on and a Giants hoodie, he asked me, what you know about that team? And my response to him, because he had a Knicks hat on, was the same thing you know about that Knicks team you got on. So we went to kicking it, and I let him know who I was. And the dude said, yo, I can't believe, you know what I'm saying, that I'm actually meeting you. You know what I'm saying? He done heard me on multiple podcasts and everything. Dude name is Larry the Legend. He come from out of Rucker Playground. You know what I'm saying? He don't played in Rucker Playground, played in numerous big boy games and stuff like that. And he's here down in North Carolina. Make a long story short, you know what I'm saying? He had an event coming up, you know what I'm saying? He said in a week and a half, he'd love for me to come through and be a guest speaker. And that event was last night. I was able to go ahead and speak to a bunch of multiple kids, you know what I'm saying? Different ages, you know what I'm saying? Give them influences on life and stuff. And I also was on the board with Ernie Myers. Ernie Myers was a freshman on that NC State basketball team, you know what I'm saying, when they beat Houston, you know what I'm saying? And one door can always open up another door. And the podcast has opened up doors for me to have different other opportunities to do other things. Now, this guy, he's talking about, you know, I'm a radio speaker at NC State. He announces all the men's game, all the women's games, you know what I'm saying? So he wants to invite me in to come in, you know, do some motivational speaking to the, you know, kids at NC State and all things, you know what I'm saying? But I say that to say that you never know who listening, who taking heed to what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you keep pressing on, you keep, you know what I'm saying, living out your dreams and pushing for them to be reality, man, you can be grabbed and seen or heard from somebody that you least expected. So when you speak and you're talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying, when you're on the podcast, you know what I'm saying, reach out to somebody further than somebody that's just on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Reach out to somebody's ear that, you know what I'm saying, that you can plug in, you know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, that's everybody in the world, because what you're saying is matters to somebody who you least expect it to matter to, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with y'all, because as me and everybody else go somewhere, that's all the podcasters go. You know what I'm saying? So if you go somewhere today, I feel like I went there with you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what the podcasters do, man. I just wanted to share that with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And let y'all be known. You know, I appreciate all the podcasters, man. And that's why I try to go hard and speak upon everything I can, especially real life situations, because you never know who life you're gonna save, man. But I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. Let y'all know God bless you and I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? A few minutes, I'm gonna jump off, send you something, you know what I'm saying? Help keep the lights on, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. And I'm gonna get with y'all sooner than soon.
For sure.
We love you too, Jay Boogie.
That's Jay Boogie.
And so
Always
that's
with the
dope, Jay
positive
Boogie.
vibes, man. For real.
Yeah, and Parasite, thank you for the generous contribution. I read the super chat a few minutes ago, and I just wanted to keep it on the screen so that you can get your just due. Paris Duggar says, I sent the super chat for $5 yesterday and it wasn't read. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. That's the only reason why, I guess. I'm sorry I missed it, man. Things happen, but I'm not perfect. But he says the Knicks are a Broadway show first. They want Zion or Mitchell, period. Bags, not rings. Okay, I got you.
I like Donovan Mitchell. I kind of agree with him. I don't want Zion. You can leave Zion alone. We got Randall. We're fine there at that position. But if you want to give me Donovan Mitchell, somehow with Donovan Mitchell, RJ, Cam, Randall, and Mitch, if we can keep those five, that is a starting five that will be hard to deal with in the future.
Okay. So it sounds like we are afraid. What are we afraid of?
Elaborate. Afraid. Afraid of what?
Scared.
Scared of what?
Of being winners.
No, I want to win. I've been saying I want to win. That's not me.
No. But stop. But there's a difference between want to and believing.
I want to know why NBA players are afraid to come here. Is it our front office?
Tricky Nicky.
Specifically?
Tricky Nicky. You listening?
That was the question.
No. Yeah, I was listening, but I'm saying, why are we afraid?
Right, but that's not what we're talking about. You talking about why are players afraid, or why are you afraid? Because the reason why I say that is believing in something is one thing, and wanting something is something else. Right?
Okay, now I get it. I got you.
Right. Like when birds leave the nest, at first they want to fly because they see their parents fly the nest. Thank you. Little birds see their parents leave the nest, fly away, and they long for their parents to come back. They chirp and do all that stuff and flap their little wings, but they ain't going nowhere yet. They flap and flap. They ain't going nowhere. But at some point they start believing that they can fly, and then guess what they start doing? They start flying. Yeah. You try and you fail, and you try until you fail, and then you succeed. It's called belief. Like, you got to believe that you can do it before you actually do it. Wanting to is one thing. What I'm saying is this, right? With this Knicks team, I believe when I looked at the schedule, I believe that only 3 teams on that schedule can give us outright L's. Like, when it's game night against those 3 teams, I'm like, I don't like our chances. Right?
One of those teams are the Nets? Is one of those teams the Nets?
No.
Okay.
No, it was Utah, Chicago, and a mystery team, and I don't know what mystery team it is. Okay. I just have a gut feeling that we're not gonna just lose 2 games the rest of the way.
You know what I'm afraid of, Uncle Freezy? I'm afraid of our front office tearing apart this team. I just feel we're so young. We are good right now. The record might not reflect how good we are. And I just feel if you give these guys time together, it feels like we're flip-flopping every 2 to 3 years, and we're doing something different coach or different players, and let these guys grow. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid they're gonna send away RJ. They're gonna send away Randall. They're gonna do this, do that. We're gonna be in the same spot 5 years from now. So can the Knicks just pause and say, hey, let these guys grow, let the youth get better, and we'll be a contending team in a couple of years?
Well, I would say do this. Tricky Nicky, you remember when you were a baby and you first learned how to walk?
No, because I can't remember past the age of 5.
That was a trick question. I was gonna say, man, you remember that. That was a trick question, right? But
don't trick Nicky.
So what I'm getting at is, how about we put one foot in front of the other, one day at a time? How about we focus on tonight instead of asking the question, can we win a championship in 7 years? Nah, we don't want to do. Nah, let's not do that.
I didn't say 7 years. I said a couple years.
No.
Grow.
But I didn't quote you. I didn't say Tricky Nicky said. You know what I'm saying? I didn't quote you. I was just talking in general. What I'm
just
saying
giving
is,
you smack.
Yeah. What I'm saying is this. How about we focus on tonight? How about we take the recent history, not the whole season, say the last 2 weeks or so. What do you like about this team the last 2 weeks?
In my opinion, what I like in the past 2 weeks,
right?
The effort. That's the word that comes to mind. Effort. They are fighting. They didn't give up on their coach. They're fighting. They're still there. They are fighting for each other too. And to see RJ compliment Randall and Randall finally complimenting RJ is huge.
Right.
It's like Alpha is saying to Beta, hey, you're just as alpha as me. I like that.
Okay. What I'm saying to Knicks fans is, calm down. Be in the moment. Right? Stafford, you remember when you was a kid and you tried to talk to a cute girl for the first time? And then you got to her and then your imagination started racing. Yep. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait for our first kiss. I can't wait till we hug. I can't wait till she gonna be my girl, but she's standing in front of you like, what do you want, boy? You know what I'm saying? You know, zoned out thinking about down the road, and she right there in front of your face.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I remember my first note. It was 5th grade, and I wrote a note to a girl. Listen, I wrote a note to a girl, and I asked her to come kiss me on the playground, but behind the dumpster. Like, how bad is that and sad?
Right.
But that's what kids do.
Right. And so my point to it though, Tricky, is we're right here at a mesh point, but we're thinking about what's going on down the road. What Uncle Freezy is saying, as a Knicks fan, what will calm your nerves, what will ease this transition is being in the moment. Right?
Yeah.
How about not imagining what RJ Barrett is going to be in 2 years? You know why? Because you're gonna have to wait 2 years. How about enjoy today? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like instead of saying, oh man, next year when Cam Reddish get back, we're gonna be. How about we focus on Memphis, right? Because what happens is as fans, we get so caught up in conjecture, right? That we get so caught up on the stuff down the road that the stuff that's happening today trips us up, right? Like what we should be thinking is, man, the Knicks have won 3 in a row. It could have been 4. It would have been 4 if Phoenix didn't hit a buzzer beater, right? What we should be thinking is, we begged Tibbs to play Miles McBride, and guess what? Now Miles McBride is playing. Now what? Now what else do we want? We're getting these things that we want, but yet we're concerned about things down the road that we can't control because we hadn't made it to those things yet.
and we're on a winning streak now.
Right.
So,
You wanted this team to be respectable, right? Well, you lost to Phoenix on a buzzer beater in a nationally televised game.
That's
they
respectable.
They were in the Eastern. They were in the NBA Finals last year. You won 3 in a row since, right? Miles McBride is playing. Jericho Sims is playing. These are the things that we wanted, right? How about we take these small victories, enjoy this ride, right? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, well, we'll never get LeBron James. That's not what's going on right now. It's not free agency.
Who wants LeBron James?
We play Memphis tonight. How about focus on that? My bad, Ron. I'm going off on a tangent, bro. I'm putting everybody on the couch.
No, you're right, though, Uncle Breezy. You're 100% right, though. You're 100% right.
We focus on, man, we're focusing on the 7-8 matchup. We don't even know if we're gonna make the 7-8 matchup.
No,
we're focused on the lottery. We don't even know if we're gonna be in the lottery.
We don't know if we're gonna make the 9-10 matchup. We can't get by Atlanta or Charlotte. I honestly don't see it happening unless they really falter and we go on a win streak. But I would rather us win than tank. I don't want to see, oh, well, I'm going to get the 6th pick instead of the 12th. It doesn't matter.
But this is a thing. This is a thing, though, with some Knicks fans. They realize that you can't just tell these guys to just go out there and play to lose, because they not. They don't want to. You think you could just go ahead and say, hey, tweet RJ and say, RJ, yo, I want you to lose all the games. You miss all your free throws, right? So we could get a number 4 pick. You really think that he wants to hear that?
No.
Or any of these guys on the teams want to hear that?
Right.
So when I hear some of these guys talking about tank and they should lose, these guys don't want to lose.
We know, but Stafford,
what kind of reputation that's going to be on them?
But Stafford, you can't blame us for going back and forth on the tank thing, right? And here's the reason why, right? You know how Philly got Joel Embiid? They tanked, they stunk it up.
Yep, and Ben Simmons. Yep.
Right. Yeah. You know how Oklahoma City got Kevin Durant?
Tanked.
They stunk. Right? You know how Cleveland got Kyrie? LeBron James left Cleveland and went to Miami, and Cleveland was terrible. And Cleveland got the number 1 pick. They sucked. Right? Do you know how Milwaukee got Giannis? They sucked.
I understand what you're saying, Breezy, but all those cities isn't New York. New York Knicks cannot tank.
Who is New York? How many championships do the Knicks have?
It doesn't matter. The pride of New York.
What pride? What are you proud of?
Well, I'm proud of the 1994-95 season.
Yeah, that's not
I'm
even
proud of the 99 season.
That's not even a century.
When they only played 52 games. I'm proud of New York Knicks.
Was 28 years ago.
It doesn't matter, man.
It does matter.
Knicks can lose every goddamn game. I'll still wear their jersey.
Right.
Still wear it.
We will. But listen, the point that I'm trying to get you to understand is you are holding on to things that you can't control. You can't rewrite history, and you can't bring it back to the present. Right? What you can do, though, however, is root for this team.
Right now.
Right? And try to improve this team. Because you could say Patrick Ewing name for the next 3 hours, and Pat is not coming out of that tunnel to play for your New York Knicks.
Right.
Period.
I'm gonna say Randall's name and RJ's name and Mitch's name. That's who I'm gonna say. Those 3 guys. Every day. And you better keep them. If you keep those 3 guys, we're set for the future.
Right. So Chicky, what I'm saying to you is this: I understand you want to win. Me too. I want the team to be respectable. I also want them to acquire good players. But who we are as a franchise, right? If we make the play-in or barely miss it, right? We'll probably be picking somewhere between 8 and 10, 8 and 11. And we are not successful picking in that range.
But I'm not even concerned about the draft. I'm not concerned about it because I'm looking at the guys we got now.
Right.
Like, and there's certain guys that need to go. And I believe Fournier, we gotta move it somehow. I believe Alec Burks I kind of like, but not so much.
Not in that, not in his current role. Not at point guard.
Yeah. We need a point guard, and then I would like him a little bit more because we can't forget that 30-point game he had in game 1 against Atlanta last year in the playoffs. Certain things are like put in your head, in your mind, in your brain, and you don't forget it. And I won't forget that.
Right.
But
it's good memories.
Yeah, but the thing about New York that I'm having a problem with right now in the Knicks is I don't want them to feel like we should have to lose. I don't care what draft pick we get. They got to win. They got to fight. And when I see that fight, all that tells me is next year is going to be a good year. If they roll off and say they miss the play-in, right? Say they miss the play-in because Atlanta and Charlotte win some games. And we are sitting in the 13th spot, and we can't get in. If they miss that, but we won 12 out of our last 18 games, and we went 12-6, I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right. Let me bring in D'Angelo real quick. Hold on. Yo,
salute everyone. Good afternoon. I know I'm coming in late today, so
salute D'Angelo.
What are you doing working on a Friday afternoon, man? What's happening?
Yeah, sure. Never stops. 7 days a week, brother. Never stops.
Yeah. How you doing?
All right, not bad. Just real hectic, real busy. But I had to go rewind, play back what I missed. Freezing. Now, you think we're gonna win out?
No,
Okay.
but so just for the record, man, I'll say this: if you are scared, not you, D'Angelo,
right.
but you are scared, I have something for you. If you're scared,
I love these things. These are great.
So if you are scared, get a. If you are scared, get a dog, right?
Therapy dog, yeah.
And so notice the dog is saying, "I'm here." You know what I'm saying? The dog is saying, "I'm here" for those that are afraid. So what I'm getting at though is, based on the trending that I'm seeing, the Knicks rebounding at a high level, the defense being much improved, the personnel gelling together on defense, the offense coming along, the emergence of RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, up and down season, it appears to be an upswing and not a downswing, right? When you take all these things into account over these next few games, along with us adding Derrick Rose and Quentin Grimes back to the rotation, maybe in a week and a half or so, I think we can make a serious run at the play-in. Now, what we do in the play-in, I hadn't thought that far, and I don't care. Because it's like the lotto. It's like the lotto. I forget what the saying is, but most of the time when I think about the lotto, I think of some jerk in front of me taking out a quarter and scratch off and holding up the line. That's what I think about when I think about the lotto.
Now wait a minute. Do you want to make the play-in, Freezy? You want to make it?
No, listen to me.
No. I get what you said, but I'm just saying deep down, you want them to make it or not?
So I want the best of both worlds. I want the Knicks to be respectable and make a deep playoff push, but I also want them to hit on their draft pick with a superstar. And I know I can't have both. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that my logic is perfect. You ask me what I want, and I'm telling you what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I know
I'd rather not make
like,
the play-in personally. I'd rather not, because that's just gonna. We know what the front office is trash, so they're gonna pump out their chest and say, "We made the play-in. We're not gonna do anything to fix." Yeah, So I want to be realistic. They put us through so much torture and pain this year,
right?
And then all of a sudden they're gonna go on a run in the end where it's gonna, like they always gonna make it hard for themselves. Play good all season, or you're playing for incentives. What are we doing here? But if that's what they thought, money's money. But I'm just saying, I'd rather not make the play-in. I'd rather them fix this thing so that we could, have a better future.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So you want long-term sustained success?
Yeah, I'm tired of the same old. The same old.
The same old every
I mean,
year.
but Freezy, as I said before, and D'Angelo, ain't nothing wrong with what you're saying with long term. I agree. I love it. But as I said before, go tweet RJ Barrett and all those players and go tell them to lose.
No,
because they ain't gonna do it.
No, we know that's
so they're not gonna do it, bro. So all you wishing that they don't want to make the play, and that's not their mentality, bro. That's not what I see right now.
Right. Ron, you were gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So here's the thing that I want to understand. Say the Knicks, they've won 3 in a row, right? And we almost won that Phoenix game. Say the Knicks go on a nice little run. We got 16 games left. What if the Knicks do go 11-5 or whatever, or something around there? What's the difference? What changed?
Nothing.
Let me ask you
the youth. Playing the young guys.
So
playing
you asked what changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I like for you to do is specify the degree of change so that I can answer your question about what changed.
All right. So this is the same team that has been struggling to win games, struggling to close out games, struggling to put 4 quarters of basketball together. Now all of a sudden, not only are we putting those 4 quarters together, we're doing it in exciting fashion, like meaning positive fashion, where it's these are blowouts, right? So what I want to know is, what do you guys think has changed in these last, let's say, we could throw the Phoenix game in there. What's changed in these last 4 games as opposed to what we've seen for the last month and a half or 2 months?
Tibbs playing the young guys. Tibbs is playing the young guys. We got energy
tricky.
now.
The young guys have always been playing.
No, Tibbs is playing
could be
more.
a difference.
When was Deuce playing at the beginning of the season?
When was RJ playing?
Deuce is just one young guy.
And for the record, RJ Barrett is younger than Deuce McBride.
Right. But what I'm saying, if you're gonna ask that question, I'm gonna tell you right now what has changed is Derrick Rose got hurt. Nerlens Noel hasn't been available. He might as well go join Joakim Noah in the Bahamas or whatever. And then you got where Kemba Walker is out. What has changed to me is we got more time for our young guys. Sims is in. When did we see Sims early in the season? We didn't. We're seeing him now. We're seeing him a lot now. It might only be 10, 12 minutes a game, but we're seeing him. We didn't see him 2 minutes a game. We didn't see him 1 minute a game at the beginning of the year.
Right. So let me jump in here real quick to answer Ron. So Ron, here's part of what has changed. Hey D'Angelo, I'm gonna mute you for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll do it.
Okay. So here's what has changed, right? And here is the cause and effect that you're looking for. Because I didn't know what you were asking. I don't know if you were asking for a direct change per se,
you could say
or cause and effect. So here's the cause and effect that you're looking for. For one, the rookies and young players are more experienced, right? So you come in the door as somebody brand new to an organization, and you kind of have to learn how, not how how basketball is played, right? But you have to get oriented to how NBA basketball works.
NBA life,
right?
Yep.
Right. So all rookies go through this. I don't care with it. All rookies. Secondly, your new guys, your new free agents the new free agents you brought in, had to get used to playing with a different set of teammates. Things happen. No, the guys generally don't mesh immediately. It's like the first dance with your girl. Soon as you dance with her the first time, and you keep stepping on her foot, and she's like, "Yo, I thought you told me you can dance." You're like, "I can dance, girl. I can cut a rug, girl." And then by the second dance or the third dance, or even by the second or third song in one dance, you get better and better. Fournier, Randall, Kemba, everybody had to get used to playing with each other. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? It happens, right? So here's the other thing, right? Teams play with desperation when they realize that their mortality is closer than what they thought, right? So those jumpers that Randall were putting up back in December that didn't necessarily go in, now is more important to Randall and those guys to hit these shots, because if they don't win games down the stretch, this season is a failure.
It's over.
A complete failure. It's looking like a failure right now, but it's not a complete failure yet. It can be salvaged, right? There's the cause and effect thing. Like, these things happened and we got this result. And so that's what I'm getting to, your cause and effect. You had to let your rookies and young players get used to playing in the NBA and get used to playing with new teammates. You had to let your free agents get used to playing with new free agents, and which rotations work and which ones don't, right? Because we tried the Kemba, man. One time I saw Kemba, Burks, Fournier, RJ. I saw all these weird lineup matches. You're like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. And now you don't see them anymore, right? Because you have to tinker with it to see what works and what doesn't. The stuff that don't work, you don't see it anymore. So basically what I'm getting at is this team had to find themselves in order to get to a certain point, right? Because think about it. You brought in a starting back. You brought in the same offseason. You brought in 3 rookies and a brand new backcourt. And we expected the Knicks to start winning games out the stretch, just straight out the gate, with a shortened preseason. Remember, the preseason was short. Remember that? We only played 2 games, right? So we stumble out of the gate. We hover around 500. We bench Kemba. The chemistry is messed up. Derrick Rose at that time is playing on the clicky ankle. We didn't know how bad it was. Kemba is inserted back. Derrick Rose gets surgery. Kemba gets taken. It's a lot of moving parts, man. A lot of giving. We just had to give this team a period to get an orientation period, basically, is what I'm saying. The constant shuffling of your roster caused you to have a bad start to your season.
I don't know. I mean, the rest of the way, I'm not that positive what's going to happen with this upcoming schedule with the 17 games, whatever it is. Now we lost Cam for the season. He's gone. I know you touched it. Did you read that article? I don't know if you touched on it today. The Jokovitis thing, with Roka.
Yeah, I saw
Man,
it.
yeah, he read what he said. I tell you, it's telling.
Yeah,
he didn't want to get play, and he's not. But anyway, I don't know. I want to be positive here, but after we've seen all the games we've watched, and all of a sudden they just flick the switch, and now we're a new team destined to get to the play-in. I don't know. I'm not that confident.
It happened last year, bro. It happened last year.
Hey, D'Angelo. What I would like to say to you is, I think what has changed with this team is everything. Everything has changed. Like with the injuries being involved, Tibbs finally playing the youth, playing the young guys, giving them grind, But I think to Uncle Freezy's point, I gotta believe in this. Don't think it didn't take all those practices. It didn't take Deuce going against, IQ, or IQ going against Deuce, or RJ going against Cam even now. Well, Cam's hurt. But like all those practices is what build up to this moment for those young guys to actually come in and play really well, If we would have played him early in the season, maybe it would have been something that would have really, really hurt their confidence. So with Tibbs, the way he handled it was, no, you're going to be in practice. You're going to do this at the beginning of the year. And then when we had guys fall and falter like Kemba and Rose and Noel is out now, and we're seeing Sims get time. We're seeing Deuce get time.
Right.
We're watching these young guys get time. Right?
Right.
So in my opinion, everything has changed from game 1 to now. I'm not saying we're going to make it to the playoffs. Nobody's saying that. I don't think anybody is saying that. Maybe a play-in if we're lucky. I doubt it. But I don't want to see this team just fold up and like just say, hey, it's over now. You can't say it's over now, right? I'm asking you, D'Angelo. You can't say it's over.
What I think you're doing, you give Tibbs too much credit.
I think that I'm only giving him credit on practice. I think he wanted these young guys to, like Uncle Breezy even said it. You come to the NBA, it's a different lifestyle.
Right.
It's a different life. And you come to the NBA, it's a different speed. It's a different physicality to the game. So when you come in and you're getting your butt kicked by veterans in the game, why would I play you? I'm not gonna. Well, here's an example. Let me let you get your butt kicked in practice by your own teammates.
Okay.
And then you're ready for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
No, I was going to say real quick. You can go. I just wanted to say that all I care about right now is seeing if the Knicks can continue to play this type of basketball at this level. Mm-hmm. And this is when I'm really watching Tibbs, because I know like things look good. Knicks are playing good defense. Everything seems to be working in order. My point here is I know Tibbs has played young guys. I feel like now that Sims is getting more minutes, because remember, Taj is really good when he's out there and he's fresh. He can really lend a lot of value to the game. But when Taj is overspent, when he's used too much, you don't get that same level of good play from him. And then you got Jericho Sims just sitting on the bench, and then we got guys that are younger, more athletic on the other team that are killing us because Taj can't stay with them because he's getting overused. Now that he's actually playing Sims, that gives us a little bit more of a dynamic. Yes, of course, Sims is not perfect. He makes some errors on the court. Sometimes he's lost out there.
Yeah, he's lost a lot.
Yeah, I know. But the fact is, him being out there helps us in other ways. While he's out there, he's grabbing rebounds. So he's giving us more opportunities, right?
And he's gaining experience too.
Right. And he sets really good screens.
Offensive rebounds, second chance points.
Right. And so just look at Jericho Sims as Mitchell Robinson in his first season. Right.
I see that.
Just look at it like that. Like a rookie center is going to be a rookie center. Okay. Right now, Jericho Sims is surviving off pure instinct because the play he got pulled out of the game. D Poetic and I talked about this yesterday. The play that he fouled Luka missed both free throws. So they ran the pick and roll, right? But then they ran a back action off of that threatened the paint. So when he saw it, he was like, "Oh!" And so he paused and not knew what to do. By the time he paused, not went one way or the other, the roll man and the ball handler are already in jeopardizing the basket, right? And so what it is, and basically in layman's terms, and not in basketball talk, is he saw something that he didn't see before, and he paused, right? Whereas if you're gonna make a mistake, make a grand mistake, basically, Like if you're gonna foul Luka there, foul the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't cross the street and get stuck in traffic, right? Don't get stuck on the yellow line is basically what I'm getting at. Right? That's why Tibbs took him out, not because he didn't recognize it, because everybody knows that rookies are going to see some stuff during the game that they hadn't seen before. It's about learning the game. But when you see these things that are unfamiliar, do something that's familiar, right? That's what I'm getting at. Like the dude threatening back action, man. Reggie Bullock, and this is where you got to know your personnel. Reggie Bullock is not getting ready to put the ball on the floor and dribble to the lane and dunk on somebody, right? But he didn't see that. He didn't see Reggie Bullock. He saw a Mavericks jersey. He saw a play on the other team, which made him pause. Like, oh snap! I can't let him dunk on me. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's Reggie Bullock.
Right.
When's the last time y'all saw Reggie Bullock dunk on somebody?
Exactly.
You
know what? Sims might be. He might have a little of the. He just reads the game slower.
Right.
And if that's the case, if he can't evolve from that, then it's going to be a tough haul for him in the NBA.
No, man, it's going to take time, Ron, man. You can't.
I know, but you know what I mean. The reason why I say that.
Yeah, I agree with Stops. It's going to take time.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm just saying I hope it's not something because Randall reads the game slow too. You know, and that's not changing for Randall.
Yeah,
Randall just that's how he thinks.
Yeah,
I think Randall's going to track Mondo. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think so. The thing with Randall is Randall reads complicated defenses slowly, right? That's what he reads slowly, right? If it in a man-to-man, Randall will get the ball and go, right?
Oh yeah.
But if you shade a man over, now Randall's like thinking like, is he coming or is he just shading, right? And then if they trap, he's like, are they double teaming me or are they trapping, right? And some people are like, it's the same thing, Uncle Freezy. No, it's not. No, it's not. A double team and trap is different. A trap is the defense is set up to trap anybody with the ball on their side of the floor. A double team is you have the game plan to double team this player when he touches it, right? And so the thing with Jericho is, and they do it to Mitch too. And Mitch learned this season, teams run plays to threaten the rim and get a 3-pointer at the same time. And what Mitch decided to start doing is, okay, I'm going to sprint out here to the 3-point line. Somebody's going to have to rotate to protect the rim, right? Because what Mitch used to do is try to do both, try to block the shot at the rim and go to the 3-point line. And sometimes he made it and made spectacular swats, and sometimes he didn't, right? But you have to pick your poison in those type of instances and trust your teammate. Right, like if me and Ron were there protecting the paint together, and Ron's man is there, they run the screen, and Ron's man is on my side. I'm gonna tell Ron, I'm going. I'm pointing this way. I'm gonna break out. But Ron understands now that I've vacated a spot in the defense, he has to rotate to the spot that I just left, right, in order to maintain stability in your defense and all that stuff. Man, I'm tired.
And Freezy, I didn't want to cut you off, but to that point, that's where, like for Sims, I think it's the communication of the other bigs around him that need to help him, because if Sims is lost of what he sees, someone else who does know what's going on should call out. And I think that's where, if you want to give a knock on Julius, I think that's one of the things I don't see too much. I don't see Julius being vocal on the defensive.
That's a blind spot.
Being a good vet to the young boy, right?
That's a blind spot for him.
And I just wanted to say to Parrish Duggar, he said, as a rookie, Ron, how can y'all evaluate 3 games in? I'm not saying that that's who Sims is. That's a blanket statement. I'm saying a what if. Like, I hope his issue is not that he can't read fast, like he can't see what's going on in the court going forward. He can learn from that, as with any rookie, you would think, over time. But I'm saying I hope that that's not something that's a sticking point with him.
Right.
And then IQJ also mentioned something to the point where he said that about Tibbs not playing Sims when we had no healthy Mitch, we had no healthy Noel, and Taj was out there by himself, and he still wouldn't pace.
That great point, Ron.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. And I said that before. I agree. Like that.
But
that
Ron, when you're not
that's
ready,
the type
you're
of stuff
not
that's
ready,
wild.
bro. But when you're not ready, you're not ready, man.
Yeah, but don't put your team at a liability just because you feel a player is not ready when he's a healthy body.
Why
You
don't you
gotta let him
Listen,
get fouls.
listen.
But why don't you?
The
just,
reason
why,
you
why
don't.
does the front office just sign somebody off the street?
You're right. They should have. They should have.
It's the same thing with the point guard situation when Kimba was out, and so this is where our season went off the rails. Kim, you know Kimba is washed. Derrick Rose had the clicky ankle, and you didn't go out and sign a veteran contract, a veteran point guard to hold the fort down. Instead, you tried to convert quickly to point guard, and he stopped contributing positively like he did when he was the shooting guard off the bench. And you moved Alec Burks out of his role as the 3-man off the bench and moved him to the starting point guard.
But then why sign another point guard, a veteran point guard, Uncle? We already got 2. They hurt. Sign another one? I don't know.
Yeah, you signed one anyway. You signed Ryan Arkinakano or whatever his name is.
A 10-day contract, maybe? I don't know.
No. They signed him for the rest of the season.
Oh.
You signed one anyway. Why not sign one anyway? Why not sign somebody that's going to contribute?
Well, you know what? Let me just get this point out, Freezy, because I almost forgot. It just came back to me. And then y'all could go wherever you want to take it. The thing that I am most concerned about with the team, which I was saying, like they're playing good basketball right now, but these games have been blowouts.
Right.
What happens when we get into situations where these are close games? And my concern with Tibbs has not just been that he hasn't played the some of the young guys. It's been the fact that his in-game adjustments, I'm not loving them, right? So now we get back to the point where those in-game adjustments matter. When the games are closer, that's when the coaching comes into play. That's when Tibbs got to think, okay, this team is doing this right now. The game is close. What do I got to do? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see.
I kind of slightly agree and disagree. The only reason why I say that is because we don't have a closer. Who is the closer on the team?
Hey, y'all, I got to get out of here, man. I'm falling asleep on y'all, man. I gotta get out of here, man. It's been a long.
I don't confuse. Go get some rest, man.
Ron,
love you, Uncle Freezy. Thank you.
Oh, no doubt, Chicken Nicky. Hey, we love you, bro. Hey, Ron, you rocking tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll be on at 11 a.m.
Okay, you gonna when he put the link out there, I'm gonna post it in the community tab. That way, everybody can know the time and place, and that way we can all meet up, go over to his channel. And
hit that reminder bell for Still Knicks fans. Make sure you subscribe and hit that for him.
Yeah. And the NBA 101
all these shows, great content, great content.
The NBA 101 has a Twitter account now, so everybody go on there and follow NBA 101 on Twitter. So y'all do that for me. And any questions, anything y'all want to ask me, any opinions on the show, y'all just throw me a Twitter a chat.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm out of here.
All right, peace. Love.
Get some rest, buddy.